Hello guys, welcome to the thumbnail tutorial, the 2D Minecraft Mlab tutorial. And this is the thumbnail we'll be making. It does not actually look scratchy as this. For some reason it just doesn't because it's not exported yet. But this is what we'll be making, and I hope you guys will enjoy the video. Without further ado, let's get started. Today I'll be using Cinema 4D if I can find it here. And as I said, you guys can use Blender, Nova Skin, uh, basically to like move your play around. Like don't use the wallpapers or anything like that. But anything to get like a picture of your character or whatever you want to put in your thumbnail that's reacting to it, or maybe you want to put like a keyboard in your thumbnail or something like that. But I'll be using Cinema 4D to start out with, and please do bear with me. I do have a lot of junk here. Let's go ahead and open this real quick. So when it opens up, it should look like this if you are using Cinema 4D. The thing with this rig is if you ever have a renderer open with this rig, you have to always put it back in so the face thing glows with the UVM wraps or something. So go ahead and just open this up. And I'll quickly show you how like to extrude stuff. Basically, when you have a package, basically download a rig, you'll have swords or weapons and stuff. You can just double click on that, it should come right up. But I'll just quickly show you guys how to extrude. But I have already extruded the thing I'm going to be using today. Or as I should say, my model I use today. I already made a treerexaudi rig, not the new skin, but the older skin. And okay, to start out with, normally when you're extruding, you want to delete this first layer on this thing, like the second layer. It just like it makes it a little bit hard because there's always like a little gap in there. Sometimes you can see the gap and it's like, well, it looks kind of sloppy. Just to me, I don't know what you guys think. If you guys like that look, that's cool, that's fine. But I will do things a little bit differently. So normally, to get rid of the other leg, like when you're extruding, the body parts are all in here. So if I hit red on both these, you can see the body up here disappears. Of course, this one still shows because I put the hair builder in there, so we'll go ahead and move that out of the side. Okay, so we have both our legs here, like we should. And to click this leg to extrude it, I'll just use the other leg because sometimes if you delete the second layer, it deletes stuff with it, and it's a common problem. Just click Control Z. You know which ways you're gonna take care of that stuff. So go ahead and start work on the other leg now. Left leg, will make it all red so it's not visible. Go ahead, hit this tile polygons. You'll see all these things here, including the second layer, which you did not delete yet, which is okay. And you can either use this to select dots. And if you want to select multiple dots, you can just hold shift and you can stop clicking, click something else around here, and keep holding shift and it'll keep selecting these things. Just let go shift and click somewhere else to get rid of it. But I like to use this tool because like you can just select everything, then hold shift down here, move around, then continue to select stuff while holding shift, and it works pretty well. So let's say we want to extrude that. You can like go ahead and take command and you can unselect, or on PCs will probably be control. I'm using my Mac right now to make thumbnails and stuff. But okay, let's see here. We're gonna go ahead and extrude. Now this is a sloppy extrude. I just want to show you guys how to do it since I'm not gonna be extruding my own rig right now because that'll take about 5-10 minutes. I don't want to do that right now because you guys wouldn't want to watch me do the entire thing. But if you have any questions, please ask below and I will answer them. Okay, so if you went to Mesh, Create Tools, and Extrude, you should have this page here. It would be set to 81. What you want to do is delete that, set to 91. I'm sorry, I meant it was set to 89. My bad. 89, and you want to set it to 91, just like that. It'll say 5. You can extrude 5 if you click that and click enter, but it'll look really weird. Or you can go ahead and hit 2. And it should extrude. It's sloppy extrude, I know, I wasn't really trying. But go ahead, and you see these things here like kind of like sloped out like this. Sometimes that happens like when there's 2 blocks up and it goes down to the other side. So get rid of that, go down, unselect, and basically you just select like the front. Okay, the front like this. Then you go back, mesh, create tools, extrude, and hit 2. Then you go ahead and go to the other side, and you let go of shift because you don't want to keep extruding this part over here. You want to just extrude the next side. So go down here like this, and you can hit spacebar too. Spacebar will bring you back to the last tool you used, but just in case you want to go back to extrude, go take you right to this, or hit the spacebar if you just use the tool, it'll take you right back to this page here, or tab, whatever you want to call it, and hit 2 again. And it should extrude, and you just go around doing that, and then click all the body parts you want to extrude. Like click body here, this part here, or you can just click back to this tool to get out of that mode, and click the arrow, click the arm, then click this. It should be working fine. And of course, to make the body parts visible again, like that leg, you're going to want to unclick those 2 dots over here that I just did. Okay, so I'll show you the rig that I modeled quite a while ago, but I still like to use it for most of my thumbnails. Okay guys, so here we are, in the model renderer. You see I can extrude this thing quite a lot. But yeah, without further ado, I do want to show you guys here that this is like a little bit rounded in here. So instead of using the extrude tool, I selected it. I went to mesh, create tools, and I hit bevel. You have to play around with the numbers a lot, as I'm not that great at it myself, but it has a nice little rounded effect to it. I probably should have done it up here on the gold dials there, but okay. Also with this rig, I built it wrong, but I saved like all of them like in my folder, just in case I mess one up and hit save. I'll have an extra. So I'm just gonna move that leg down here. Something you guys don't have to do if you're starting out with a rig. You guys probably could extrude that or model it any way you want to. But I'm gonna go ahead and model this rig here and show you guys how. Click this, and I'll be modeling my rig. If you guys want to skip this part, that's fine. You don't have to though. I mean, I'm guessing my rig, like when you turn the feet like this with a dial, normally they don't like come out like this a little bit. Most rigs do things a little bit differently. Okay, well I take it that you guys probably did things a little bit differently than I did. I just did subtle movements, and you probably saw me struggling there with the arm quite a lot. But yes, other than that, we're going to work on the head now, and the head is fairly simple in this rig. Normally you guys would have a GUI for this. You have to click it, like it'll be here, it'll say a Q on it, so you hit the Q button, you open it. It's pretty cool. I struggled with that sadly for a long time because I had no idea how that worked, but now I know. So basically to move the head, I'm just going to go ahead, click this bottom thing down here. You guys can see that right here, purple, and look up like this, and we'll do some of the facial features here as well. Get the eye possibly to move it a little bit here. Untake this because it makes the movement a little bit different. We don't want that. Go ahead and make it like this. There we go. And possibly move an eyebrow up. I don't know if you guys have like the abilities in your rig that you use. Some people use FMR, CMR, HBR, or the Frost rig. Either one though, they're all good. I like to use them too quite a lot when I started animating things. There we go. Getting there. I guess that would be good. You guys can do any pose you want for your 2D thumbnail, like if it's like being chased by hackers or something like that. You guys could like have running and just have a picture of your character. But okay, since I'm on my character, it looks good. But what you want to do is you want to get the camera kind of like how, let's see, how you want it to look in the thumbnail. Like I probably want mine to be straight on like this, like not so much like legs showing. There's more of the body, facial expression, more like. I'll probably zoom in though once I get into Photoshop or GIMP or whatever you guys want to use. Paint.net, it's all good. And I'm also using the Shadows Lightroom, which is a very nice Lightroom. It takes a little while to render, so I will speed that process up. But let's go ahead and render this out. Wait, right before I do that, I do want to show you guys the settings tab in here. Go ahead and click this gear at the top of your screen. This is kind of basic. I don't know why I'm showing all this. You guys probably come here for the Mlab style, but if you did, please skip this part, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so you set the resolution 1280 or 1920 by 720 or 1080. 720 by 1080 pixels, all good. Where it's going to be, I need mine Cobalt 2 because render I did a long time ago and it just saved and stuck. Normally I'll just rename it like Mlab tree, something like that. It looks good. And have different sets here, presets here, because you know Shadows Lightroom is very good like that. But yes, without further ado, let's go ahead and finally render this out. And this is another glitch people will have. You can see how things are rounded here. It happens to my rig because I left it on when I copy and pasted them. So you guys don't have to do this. I have to go type in Q dot to get into the customization tag. Click subdivisions and render 0. I know I have a lot of glitches with my rig. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, we should be all good now. And we'll go ahead and go back to the renderer. If you have a rig, there should be like a tab or something that you can pull up or pull down. It's on here too. For some reason it doesn't work, it broke. But, okay, this should be finishing fairly soon. And there we go, guys. Here's our rendered image. And it did look pretty fast because I did speed up the video, but it was exactly about 3 minutes. Okay, it was exactly 2 minutes and 51 seconds. About 3 minutes. But okay, time to get to the fun part. We finally have our render here, which is saved on our desktop. If you did save it, it should be there when you click to save it here. You click File and all that. It should take you there if you just type in a title or wherever you want it to save. But we're good, so we don't have to do that. I'm pretty sure you guys already saw that too when I went into there. But okay, let's go into the Photoshop part or GIMP, whatever you guys want to use. I'll be using Photoshop CC. At least I think that's what it's called, CS, something like that. Let's go ahead and get right into that. Okay, again, I apologize for my messy desktop here, but our render was saved here, so you guys can see. Looks pretty good. And Photoshop CC is what I'll be using. It will be here. I also do have GIMP, but I won't be using it for that. Although, if you are starting out making thumbnails and you don't have Photoshop, GIMP is a great thing to start out with. I made a few Mlab thumbnails in GIMP, but it took a little bit of work to learn how. Pretty complicated. Let's go ahead and open Photoshop up. Okay, so when it opens up, oh boy, we have a spoiler right there. But yeah, I'm working on something right now as well. But oh, yeah, don't look at that. So go create new, and it should take you to a place where you can create anything as far as thumbnail size goes. This is 720 by 1280, which is not correct. It's a custom preset I made, which is flipped the dimensions around. But yes, if you don't already have it, you go ahead and make sure you type in the bigger number in width, because that's the width, and the slightly smaller number in height. But 1080, you do not want to use thumbnails for that. You want to have 720 because YouTube only accepts a certain megabyte file, and it's a good way to get a good file size. Unless it's just one solid color, you might be able to use 1080, but I don't know why you want to do that, to be honest. But okay, we got our white plane here, and hopefully you have some Minecraft screenshots saved, or anything you want to use for their background will work. I have some Minecraft screenshots here I bought for free off the internet. I know, how can you buy something for free off the internet? But yeah, it was a free Sellify package. So go ahead and stick with this one. I haven't ever used it before. Looks pretty cool. I actually don't know why I haven't used it before. It looks nice. Very nice. So we save that. We have our picture here. And you want to hold shift and hit T. I'm sorry, wrong thing. Correction here. So you want to go ahead and click this thing here. I was on text. We want to click this, then hit Command and T. And you want to make sure this thing here is selected. And go ahead and click out of that real quick. Just delete that text layer. I don't know why I made one real quick. Little mistake. Okay, we have this selected. We can move it up in this. I guess you can move it like this, but go ahead, if you do not want to take your changes, hit the X at the top of the screen. I'll go ahead and select it again and hold shift while I move it so it doesn't, like, go all over the place. I want to keep the exact same aspect ratio, whatever you want to call it. I want to keep it all uniform. Let's make it a little bit bigger because, like kind of the background there. I will go ahead and add a blur here in a second. So that looks good. A nice little background there. And you want to go to filter. If you want to add blur, go to blur here. You can hit Gaussian blur, radial blur. I have normally used Gaussian blur. I'll set it to like 5 and it looks like that. So you can tell it's a Minecraft background, but it's kind of blurry, so you don't like focus on the background too much when you're looking at the thumbnail. Focus more on the text or the character or whatever is happening in the thumbnail, which is pretty cool. We'll go try radial blur just because I've seen a few people use it and it looks pretty cool. We'll go with 10. How's that look? That's a little too much. We're going to go ahead and stick with Gaussian blur. Sorry about that, guys. I'll set that about 5. Normally people like Damien, Dexonic, Near Future, other people, they do it from, I don't know, they use radial blur. I really like it, but I don't use it for all my thumbnails because I want to people kind of see the background thumbnail. Like, they'll see the corner here, it's like, oh yeah, that's Minecraft. But you kind of tell by the render. So if you have your render saved, find it in Finder here or Desktop and drag it in here. It should look like this. And again, you can hold shift and move these lines here and click so you can make it a little bit bigger because regular size plot can be too good. We'll go ahead and make this a little bit smaller just so you can kind of see the legs a little bit. And there again, a very simple render, nothing too crazy here. Move it down a little bit bigger, kind of get the way you want it, and that looks about right. Count the arm to be visible. There we go. Perfect. And so you go ahead and one thing I like to do with my GFX and my renders is you want to make sure you have this selected and hit Command, or on PC you want to hit Control and click J. That'll copy the layer, and I'll go ahead to filter gallery, and I'll hit, let's see, I want to find it here, show you guys, plastic wrap. Should be out here on artistic, plastic wrap. I'll go ahead and select that. It'll look really weird, and I haven't done this in a while because you saw the drawn thumbnails lately. Pretty cool stuff. But I believe it's overlay that we want. Yes, it is. Okay, perfect. Overlay. So what you want to do is make the slider a little bit less. So you kind of see like a little bit of thing going on here, like a little bit of a liquid effect. I guess we'll set it to about, will 50 work? I think 50 will be a little bit dark. It's a little bit dark. Okay, so you want to go back down to the Mlab tree, the first one you created, or whatever render, whatever you called it. You probably did not call it Mlab tree, but go to the first one. This one says filter gallery. You can turn that on and off, but you want to make sure you leave it on for here, and go down to the original. You want to hit Command again, hit J, and go to filter gallery, filter gallery, and we'll uncheck that. Go to sketch, no, stylize, glowing edges. Okay, there's only one option, stylize, so it should be pretty easy to get that. And click OK. It's gonna look really weird again, but you want to go down to overlay and then go to like 50 or something like that. It's gonna look really dark, so we'll lower that a little bit more. Okay, let's go ahead and set this to 25. Then click the other one that we just created, the plastic wrap, and go to that 25 as well. So it adds like a nice little effect to our character. It probably won't be visible on YouTube because it's such a small thing, but you know, it looks really nice when you're looking at it up close like this. Pretty cool. So what we want to do here is we got our render. We got that all set up there. I'm kind of, should I add glows? Oh great, I probably should. So okay, so click this or whatever's the top layer, wherever you want the next layer to be that you're going to create. Go ahead and click this create new layer. Okay, there we go. And select the brush, and the brush should be here. And you can like change the size of the brush and stuff like that. And make sure you have hardness to 0 if you want to add glow effect. And I guess let's see, will 100 be a good size? I don't know. Nope, that's a yeah, it's a little big. Go ahead here, just set to 65 or something in between 150. Seems to work pretty well. And okay, if you want to select the color, hit Option on a Mac. I'm not exactly sure what you hit on a PC, but the color selector, color palette, anything like that. And I'll select the really blue color right in there. Should select perfectly. And in this new layer, make sure you have this new layer selected. I'm gonna go ahead and just make a blue dot, pretty big blue dot. Okay, and that's in this layer. As you guys can see the little dot right in there. You want to go here, and you can either use color dodge, add, something like that. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but you guys know what I mean. I showed you guys. And so it has a little bit of a glow effect. I like to have glow. Some people are like, ooh, why is his eye glowing? But it's pretty cool. So we're going to repeat the process and make sure you have this selected or wherever you want to put your layers, the layer under it selected, and click create new layer. I'll go ahead and hold option, select that gold color if I can grab it, perfect. And just make this kind of glow here as well. So we make the color on the layer. We'll go ahead and put color dodge add. And I'm going to stop saying that because I feel bad. I'm saying it wrong all the time. So I'll add glow over there because, you know, there's kind of like a glowing over there. I probably added too much, but you guys get the idea. Can we make anything else glow here? Create a new layer like this. I'll select this white down here, make that glow a little bit. Probably don't need to add glow to it since it already looks good. And I'll put color dodge add. And it looks pretty cool. Do it one more time and select this gray up here. I'll select this gray here. It looks a little bit nicer. And for the last time, hit this button here. Right here, you can use color dodge too. They both work, except color dodge is harder to see, I think, is more subtle. But the color dodge add, it's a little bit brighter, I think. So that looks good. Fairly nice, I will say. And especially, I do want to let you guys know if you're making renders in, not renders, I'm sorry, but you're making things glow, don't have all the glows in one layer, because sometimes, like, let's see these yellow things here. Where do we make those? We made those right in the, I believe, third layer. Is that right? So you get the, nope, that was the second layer. You get the eye to change the layer on and off. So go ahead. And if it was all in one layer, you couldn't make them all individually like a lighter color, like I can, since I put them all in different layers. Go ahead and change the layer to 3 because it's a little bit bright. And there you go. Since we have added all the glows and the effects there, and it looks pretty nice, look much better than the other render, which I'll go ahead and just drop in real quick so you guys can see the difference. Very big difference. Don't want to place that. We'll actually delete that because we don't want that in there as well. We only want one render. But if you guys did it, you probably want 1 or 2 people like running or something like that. Or any pose you guys had imagined, it'll work. So let's go ahead and add some text and maybe some cool effects in as well. So my folders here, again, the messy desktop. I know where everything is. Go to thumbnails, I think. Okay, that's not it. Thumbnail tutorial folder. Where are you? Thumbnail tutorial right here. You can't really read it because of all this stuff here. But I keep all my PSD packs in here. I got a lot of PSDs. Basically, if you got like a render pack or a PSD file, you'll have like people who've already added effects to things. So it really helps to just like buy a PST pack or something and look into it. So let's see here. We're gonna go ahead and go with the Triumph pack. There's also the Resonant pack, which is very nice. But I'll go ahead with the Triumph just because I like the colors and vibrantness of it. So open that up in Photoshop. If you didn't see how I did that, I'll go ahead and do it again. Like you click, double click it, or control click it or something. PC might be different. and open with Photoshop. But normally it should just open with Photoshop automatically because I don't know any other programs that can open PSDs too easily, except for Manga Studio and a few art ones. It's a very old render right there. And one other thing, which we wanted to use the arrow, which you guys probably saw in the thumbnail, which will be in the Dusty Designs pack, I believe. Um, I think it's this one, yeah. Let's go ahead, open with Photoshop, and there we go. So we have tabs up here. This is where our thumbnail is. This is where the packs are. So we're going to concentrate on the first pack. So turn this off by clicking the eye because we don't want this. We actually want to see the layer styles there. And we have a whole bunch of fonts. We'll tick that with the eye so we don't see that either. And the stocks, get rid of that as well. And CCs, but that doesn't really matter too much. Okay, so Mlab, which is the things we wanted to use. I guess I'll stick with the yellow and green just because they're most vibrant. Sometimes I like to use white just to put a little bit of contrast in there, something a little bit different, but that's all good as well. So we're going to make sure you just drag it around real quick and hit Command Z just so you make sure it's selected here. And unless you want to go looking for it in the folder, which is kind of hard, especially when certain packs are like over 500 of them. So yeah, click it, drag it around with this moving tool and Control Z just so you can hit select it because you don't want it to be sitting over here and click save because it'll be like, why is it over there? So selected, perfect. Probably was on that a little too long. But go ahead, double click it, and go scroll down until you see duplicate layer, and click that, and it should say where you want it, its destination to be. It's in Triumph 5 pack. This is Dusty Designs pack, but we want an untitled one, which is our thumbnail, and it will change the title of it as soon as you save it and make a name for it. So let's turn that over there. Same thing with this. Drag it around. Command C. PC's Control C. And is number 3. So we'll double click that, duplicate layer, and we want it to be an untitled one. You don't want to put it where it already is. Well, I don't know what, it says Triumph 5. Okay, we have both of our layer styles here, and it looks good. Guessing, put this here, put that one there. Guess it looks good. Or like this. This looks good. Okay, just like that. And we'll make them bigger, put actual text in them in a second, but I'm going to go ahead the Dusty Designs pack and grab the layer. So it should be in miscellaneous stuff. Okay, so here we go. Here's the arrow that we need. Looks pretty nice. We'll go ahead and just drag it around real quick. Command Z. And double click. And duplicate layer to our untitled one. And there we go. We have our arrow. We have both of our text images. And one more thing I want to show you guys is the Sins pack. His name is SYN. Very good on Twitter. I think it's like Cynical Concepts or something like that. Very nice pack. So go ahead, double click that, open it. Because he does have very nice stocks. Stocks are like the fires and like kind of like glow effects that you'll have. So definitely gonna take that tick off the eye there because we want to be able to see what we're doing. And go to stocks down here. And he says use linear dodge add all. Yes, because okay, it doesn't say all, but yes, please, yeah, use all. Okay, you guys get the idea. I'm sorry, I'll tell you in a second what to do. So go and take this, tick the read button because you want to see these styles here. And they're all black on the outside, but using the selecting that and click normal to linear dodge add makes it the black part transparent, but you can see the layer under, which is the fire. So we're just gonna find some packs down here. You guys can probably see a little bit easier since I tried to zoom in here. And I guess we're going for a more lightning look. So we'll go ahead, double click this one because it looks cool. Duplicate layer to our untitled one. And we'll go ahead and find something else here just to stick in. Because it's good to have variety. You don't just have one, you gotta have two. Normally you can have one, but I like to have two. So untitled one goes there as well. And okay, it looks black back on untitled one. We switch back over. We were here, go back over here. And it looks a little bit messy because it's all black. So we're gonna go ahead here and put linear dodge add. So you can see that one behind it. We'll do it one more time so you can see that one as well. So you now finally see our render, which is good. But you're going to want to zoom out. I guess it's a hold command on a PC's control. And you want to hold command and hit the minus key a few times. Because these are, I believe, if, let's see, I got the name, After Effects, AE After Effects that are created. So they're actually just screenshots, but it's black. So it was a 4K video. So we're going to go ahead and click on the layer you want to move. I guess I'll just untick this one real quick, the smaller one, because I want to work on the bigger one first. Hold command, hit T, and you can see like this line. So hold shift again, and you make it smaller. Zoom in a little bit so you can finally see what's going on here. And there we go. It's about kind of centerized, which is good. We'll go ahead and turn it around so we have a little bit of variety here. Don't look like everybody else on the internet. I don't know. Also, you can get shifts like this, like turning around in a flat. If you go ahead and hold shift, and same thing for the moving, upscaling, and stuff like that. So it's in front of our character. We do not want that. So we're gonna go ahead, say yes, put the check mark there, and move it all the way down behind our character, which would be right in front of the thumbnail or the background image, but on top of our character. You don't want it in the layer where you like have plastic wrap on your character. That won't work. Well, it might. I'm just not sure. I wouldn't try it. It might mess things up a little bit. Okay, we have this in the background. That's good. And what we just did to the first one, we're gonna go ahead and go back, take the eye on this, and make sure we do the same one down here. So hold shift. Oh, did that wrong. Hold shift in the corner, make it smaller. And this is something small, so I'll probably put it in a few places on the thumbnail. So I'll copy and paste it a few times maybe. But since the check mark, I'll zoom back in and drag it all the way back down. I'll just shake my mouse to move the layers. I think you can. Okay, you can't use arrow keys. I tried. The arrow keys are for moving the thing up and down. So we'll put this in front of that layer, the under our character, but in front of the big one, and we'll move a few of these around. So we're gonna turn this around a little bit, make it a little bit smaller, put it here, and copy it there. Then click on this, hold Command and hit J to copy it. Hit Command T to move it. Make sure you have this thing selected up here, or else commands won't work for this particular thing. Move this one down a little bit. Put this here. Turn it a little bit so it doesn't look exactly like that one. There you go. And I'll do it one more time. Hold Command, hit J, Command and T, and move it up in here. See, it looks a little bit variety. There we go. Looks cool. So there we go. We have our arrow text, background image, which is pretty nice. And finally, time to work on our text, which should be here. What is this thing? Okay, this is the glow. We kind of want this with the other glow effects. Okay, our first text will be the yellow one, which will title make. This is actually the thumbnail you guys saw, just in case you probably already knew that, but this is what we're making in the thumbnail. Kind of do the intro back in time or in the future, not sure there, but okay, make this, and I like to use all caps because it makes it nice and uniform. Some people like to have like lowercase, uppercase letters, like the SpongeBob meme. Don't quote me on that, but we are gonna go ahead and just move this around here. So hold it, Command T, with the moving object tool, and make it a little bit bigger so you actually see the text. Don't want it too small. That looks good like that. And hold this one, move it around, then hit Command T, make this one a little bit bigger. That's kind of a little bit too big. There we go, just like that. With the arrow here, I will make that smaller just to make sure the text is lining up correctly. If you click it, you can hit the arrow keys and move it very subtly just to get the way you want. Because if you're moving it around, sometimes it'll like latch on other things, and it'll say, "Oh, it's aligned with this one." And it'll like have like a purple arrow, like you guys see in the corner there. We don't want that. We just want to move it right where we want it. So just like that, looks good by hitting the arrow keys on the bottom of your computer. And it looks good. Okay. So we also want this arrow to be in front of, well, let's see, I don't know, quite sure why I want this arrow. We gotta move it. So hit the arrow, Command T with moving tool. And I kind of want the arrow facing. I'm just gonna play around with this real quick, guys, because I'm not quite sure where I want this thing. That looks good. Okay. So we want it coming out of like behind our character, but pointing onto the text, something like that. Okay, so that's where it's tricky. There's a little Photoshop trick here. So hit OK, and we're gonna go ahead and copy the arrow and put one arrow behind my character's face, which would be right in front of the, well, actually put it, yeah, put it just behind the character. Don't put it behind the glows because that'll be bad. So right there behind the character, not in the glows. And this arrow is in front of the text still. So select the arrow, the one on the top, hit the eraser tool, so it's like 99 or whatever you want to use. Hit this, wait, rasterize, do I want to do that? Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. If you want to change the color though, I'll show you how to do that in a second, like change color of things. It was universal for all. So go ahead and just make this gonna zoom in here by hitting Command plus. Go back and kind of just go around here. Make a smaller size here. There you go. Looks nice. Getting rid of some of this here. There we go. Okay, that looks about right. No, maybe not. Okay, I gotta figure out this. Step backwards a few times. Like, it has the white line around. I don't want that. I want to go ahead. Let's see, can we rasterize this layer real quick? I think we can. So if you double click it, the arrow, you should be able to go down and find a thing that says rasterize layer style. And it should get rid of the stroke. Okay, there we go. Got rid of the stroke. Perfect. Also gets rid of this black thing they had there as well. Can I go ahead and remove that, actually? So double click, blending options. And sadly, I don't think we have a drop shadow on this, so we just have to deal with it, guys. We just have to deal with it. So, go ahead here, is we already did rasterize it, I think. Yes, we did. So let's go ahead and just delete some of this stuff here, and just basically get rid of it until the point where you see the other arrow behind his head. Okay, just that's a little too much there. Okay, there we go. That looks good. And see, you can't erase up. It doesn't erase up here. It's because the other arrow's behind him, and you can't erase the arrow behind because you're only selecting the first layer. That's pretty cool. So it looks like the arrow is actually coming from behind the character and pointing onto the text, and it's actually two arrows. That's pretty cool. If you didn't quite understand it and you actually are trying to do that, please do go back and rewind it, or rewind's probably not the perfect term for that, but you guys get the idea. So you have an arrow coming from behind Tree's head, pointing onto the text, and you can kind of see the M. I mean, I didn't want to block it out that much, but it looks okay. So we're gonna do that one more time on this side, and I'll show you how to do that one more time, and pointing onto the T from behind Tree's arm. Since I have the arrow saved here, I'll copy this one, and with Command J, Command T, then go ahead and flip this up. Hopefully that works. It didn't quite work, did it? Go ahead and put this up like this, down like that. Did that work? No. I gotta figure out how to do this. Okay, that's how we want. We want it just like that. So is way we can move it. Okay, it's kind of hard to see it from behind there, but it's gonna look something like this. Putting from behind Tree like that. There we go. That looks good. So put that there. We'll do Command J, copy that, move it all the way back up to the other arrow is, the one we edited, in front of this arrow. And click it, double click, click rasterize layer style. There we go. I'm sure you already have your eraser selected on the corner there because you didn't really have to use anything unless you did some other stuff there that you didn't have to do. But that's understandable. Let's go ahead and erase most of this here. We should be able to get rid of most of it. I think I should go ahead and just use a big eraser from what I just did earlier. I haven't done this in a while, guys, since the drawn thumbnail stuff, but it looks pretty good. We have the arrow in front. Okay, don't want to delete that much there. Go ahead and delete this stuff in here, because you don't want to delete the shadows of the other one too. That'd be bad, because it might look a little bit weird. Since the thumbnail is small, you might not notice it, but still, I like to pay attention to detail. So just in case it is made bigger, like a different website, it's hard to notice. So let's see, put this like that, and that looks about right. Go inside here, like that. So what I did is I clicked an area, clicked there, hold shift, and clicked over here, and it makes a straight line of where I was working. Let's go straight up. So that's good. So got the arrows from behind Tree pointing out to the text. That looks nice, but time to work on strokes. Okay, so first one is number 7, which is the word make. So double click this, and you want to go ahead to blending options at the top. This is basically how people make those texts. When you create text in any document, it'll be white or black. But what this does is they add gradients to it. This is like the stroke. This is the brown stuff around it. So go ahead and make this bigger. You guys can see it much better. We don't want that to be bigger, so let's keep that at 5 for now. Inner glow is the inner glowing. You can see in the corners here. Make that bigger. I don't think we can. Okay, so you make it bigger. So you can see it what it is there. That's good. Make that small again. The C stain or something here. It looks like it's just a color for a satin finish, I guess. And size makes this bigger. I guess it's overlay. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I think it's like the background color of like the backdrop. This is the gradient. This is the most important thing. This thing is what you can make bigger, smaller. In general, go ahead and make this bigger like this. You see it's more orange there. But it's basically what makes the layer style there, the gradient. Then the drop shadow, which is basically the background, which works with this, I guess, in some way. Okay, what we were going to do, though, is going to make the stroke a little bit bigger. We're going to stroke, make it a little tad bit bigger so you can see it nicer. Sorry, I meant a little bit easier. You see it a little bit easier. Then make this a little bit bigger as well, so you see the black. A lot of people have been combining their layer styles. What I like to do in mine is I like to go ahead and make this one, the drop shadow, the black one, gray to make the Mlab look. And so you can see there's like a little bit of gray there. We'll also go ahead and hit distance on that, move it down a little bit so that looks good like that. Perfect. And sometimes people will go ahead and just keep adding layer styles. Like, let's see, blending options again. I didn't mean to click out of that. But basically, if you hit this thing here, you can add another layer style. Let's this color to, I don't know, blue. This looks good so you can see it. So here's the drop shot of the black one or gray one you guys can see here. This is gray, which is the top. This is the stroke, which is the, let's see, this thing here, the brown one. Normally I'll delete the stroke and put it in drop shadow because it's easier to maneuver in distance and all that. Okay, so here's the blue one. Move it down. I'm just showing to show you guys like the layers behind it and stuff like that. I'm not actually going to use blue. That'd look weird. But okay, here's what we got. This looks all good, and I'm gonna keep that. Let's see. Also going ahead and what's its next color? Black. Okay, black's next color. Let's go ahead and make another drop shadow. Oops, did not want to make more than one. Okay, well, I actually made more than one, but we'll just delete those two. I think we can delete them. Okay, no, we can't. That's okay. So let's select this one here. You want to just make one by clicking the plus button. No, click more than once. My mistake. Sorry. And set this back to a different size here, blue. We're going to go ahead and make this one black though. Let's go ahead, black color. I guess you can find it basically anywhere. So it looks nice like this. You see it's black, gray. I'll move this with distance, move it down a little bit. I'll make it bigger with size. Make it go down, up or down with the distance. I like to use distance and stroke. Distance and size, I'm sorry. Distance and size makes it go up and down. And it looks good like that. I'm also going to go ahead and the next one, which I created by accident, set that to white. Make the size a little bit bigger. For this one, I really don't have to move it too much. There we go, perfect. So we got that nice gray there. We got the black and white. It looks a little bit sloppy, yes. Actually, going to go ahead and back into there, double click blending options. Click that again and move it up a little bit because I didn't mean to do that far. That looks good. Okay, so it looks a little bit sloppy, yes, but when it's looking at like this on a thumbnail, it doesn't look too bad, does it? You do know that there's still white, you can barely see it, so it looks good. And we're going to go ahead and move this one up a little bit. So click this arrow button, click the layer style, and hit the up arrow key a few times. You want the white to be uniform in the side there. Then click the one that bottom one, which is this. That's the word. Go down here and move that a little bit down too. So blending options real quick. I'll show you guys one more time how to get this to work properly. Okay, so you got the stroke. I'm gonna go ahead and make that bigger so you can see it easier. That looks about right there. Yeah, it looks good. Drop shadow. Make the size of this a little bit bigger as well, but we want the color gray. So you can select the color gray, but it might not match. What you can do is hit Option. You'll have a selecting tool on here. You can just click any color you want. You click this color or that color, but we're going to click the color that we used not too long ago. So there we go. Matches the same thing. It's just changed like this, like that. Perfect. And make that a little bit bigger. Do we have to make it bigger? I don't know. I don't think we do. Make it a little bit bigger. Okay. Move it down a little bit. Looks good. Hit the plus arrow. Click this. Go all the way down to black. You go here or here. It doesn't really matter. And make this a little bit bigger too. Down a little bit. And there we go. So one more time we'll do it. Make another one by clicking the plus arrow. Go all the way to white. Click that. And the size, increase that to, here we go. So you barely see it on the side because it's like all white layer style stuff, but here you can see it pretty nicely. It's a lot smoother than this one for some reason. I don't know, maybe because it's like E. Is this an S, which is very smooth leather. It looks pretty good. The one last thing I want to do to finish off this thumbnail is make another layer at the top here. So go all the way to your layers, go all the way to the top, hit the arrow or whatever is at the top of your thing, hit new layer. And go ahead and put a brush, max out all hardness, max brush 5,000 pixels, something like that. And you want to select the color white. So make this white color. I might have to click a few times my brush. It didn't used to do this, but now I have to do it for some reason. Photoshop messed up. Or maybe I messed up. I clicked something I shouldn't have. Ruined my setup. Okay, here we go. So you have a big white canvas, and you hit the arrow here to make it bigger. Hit Command T, and hit Shift to drag it in a uniform way up in both sides like this. Very nice. And click the arrow that says OK check mark. So okay, so this is what you want to do. This is a selection tool. Um, Basically, if you select something, you'll erase it or color inside this box, and you can also invert it or get rid of it, but it won't like affect anything else. So go ahead and click that box up here at the top, okay, right here, and click in the corner and drag it down like this. Kind of make it so it's even. It won't be even for you. You have to actually kind of work it a little bit, but I think that looks good. There we go. So you have this box in here. Now what we want to do is hit this arrow, make your eraser the biggest it can go, and you want to just click in there to erase all the inside. Okay, deselect that. So we have this white line here. Well, that looks kind of ugly. I agree. But what we're going to do is click overlay. It makes a nice like burnt effect, like it's really glowing around this. You can also click that layer, click Command T, and move it a little bit to make it turn. And the reason why I made it bigger is because if you turn it, you'll see like outside, like in here, you'll see like the outside color. If we make it bigger, it'll be one big solid piece, so you won't see the outside like in here, which is all good. So looks pretty nice. Here's our thumbnail you guys saw. Character, render, the arrows behind him going to the front, up here, to the back, kind of like an optical illusion, I guess. Custom effects, glow, character GFX and stuff going on there, and some nice text. One last thing I do want to show you guys is that if you made your thumbnail and it looks good like this, what you want to do is go to File, to Export, and click Export as PNG, and you should be able to save it as anything you want. I'll just call mine tree Mlab here, and I'll click Desktop, and I'll click Save. It should save it like that. And if you do want to save it to a thumbnail to edit, like you have a thumbnail that says 1, 2, 3, 4, like Skyros 2, 3, whatever, it just keeps getting bigger number. You're gonna have to click Command S to save this, and you can save it as Skywars, but I'll just do tree Mlab like that, and I'll go ahead and save it to my desktop and drop it into my private folder later. So I do hope you guys like this thumbnail. I know I truly enjoyed making it for you guys, and I hope you guys understand the tutorial. If you don't, please ask me in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And as always, have a nice one. See y'all.